Hi, SOSers. This is Ashley Margo, one of the SOS co-founders, coming to you live today with Elizabeth Tabor. Sorry, I'm mispronouncing your last name, Elizabeth. I
It's
do
okay.
apologize. With Clinical Research Referral Club. We are here because it is our very first ever SOS Collaborator podcast. We are very excited about this. We're very happy that we're coming to you live with this, but also, to expect a few down the line. We understand the importance of collaboration and making sure that we're giving everybody platform that obviously helps sites and helps the clinical research professionals that work at these sites. And so, thank you so much for being here today, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much for having me and being a part of your new podcast. I'm so excited.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. So you're actually at Scope right now, correct? I know that most professionals at the moment are at Scope, and I've been hearing really great things.
Yes, I actually am at Scope right now. And in this, I have realized that so many companies exist within clinical research that I've never heard about. So I'm definitely excited to share that with SOS members and CRC. So stay tuned of all the amazing companies that are out here and what you can really do in the industry.
Awesome, for sure. Yeah, we definitely send out our love and appreciation for Scope. Definitely for conferences that are out there being able to help people network and get connected. I mean, that's what it's all about in the end, right? So, really excited for that. And thank you so much for, again, being here. So, again, we're here for your organization, the Clinical Research Referral Club. Tell us a little bit first about you, a little bit on your background, and then jumping into what CRRC is.
Okay, so about my background, I fell into clinical research like everybody else, pretty much, and it started with a conversation. I have a bachelor's degree in biochemistry, and I was like, okay, lab, doctor, teaching, and really that none of that fit. And I came across somebody and it was like, oh, you should look into clinical research. Once I found out about the industry, I struggled to find out more. From there, I turned to LinkedIn, and from there, I was able to start connecting with clinical researchers. And just early on, I learned the value of having a professional network and how relationship based this industry is. Through my career, I've worn many hats. So I've worked at the site, I've done the CRO, I even serve on the IEC, so voting for studies to be approved within communities. And most recently, a CRA. With that, I realized that I personally needed a career change and I had stopped nurturing my network. So with that, I was like, okay, I have to get myself back out there. But instead of just doing it for myself, I was like, other people probably have this problem. So from there, Clinical Research Referral Club was formed. Because not networking is not really always accessible to people, especially when it comes to conferences, which is what I love about SOS, that you are making it more accessible for people to come. And then also networking is a skill. So everybody says network, network, but nobody really teaches people how to network. So bridging that gap between, you needing to network and then actually how to network to move your career forward is what we're all about.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for creating CRRC. We've had some talks before in the past, and this really rings true to my heart. I think it's something that's been needed in the industry, but more specifically, that it's open to all backgrounds, all individuals, race, sex, gender, all those things. We don't want to silo or exclude anybody. And I really love that you guys are doing that. So congratulations on that. And just I'm really looking forward to watching you guys grow. I know the other co-founders are as well. There's so much going on. There's so much going on with y'all's growth. Hey, Moni, so much going on with y'all's growth. I know that not too long ago y'all hit 7,000 followers. I know that you guys are, the beauty about what you guys are doing is, again, you're mixing with all these different organizations and kind of bringing everybody into one platform, which I think again is very beautiful. And through the collaboration, you're able to then link everyone and get to see other platforms, and then ultimately potentially get more exposure. So I think that's what the industry needs. We've been needing this for a while. But I have to ask you a question. So how can CRRC be useful to clinical research professionals that are already at sites, working at
So
sites?
how they can be already at sites is one in terms of tech stacks. There's lots out there. So being able to connect with people at different sites of saying this is what we're using and this is what is working. And then also in terms of career progression of, what type of conversation should you have to be successful in a site role or wherever you might want to go in clinical research. I believe that a lot of times when sites and site members are approached, it's about a pitch and not about help. And so
Mhm.
I think, having it where they can lean on a community of saying, hey, I have some questions and not be sold something is definitely golden in this industry.
Agree. And as far as like, because I know we've spoken about this before, I think you even have some site owners on your platform
Yes.
okay. So how is it beneficial for site owners?
So for site owners, it's beneficial in two ways. One, we have access to a lot of clinical researchers in a lot of different areas. So it can definitely help in terms of finding talent to fill the site. And then also in terms of making those connections, as I go out and network, I bring that information back. So I would say that that's how it would help is one, the connections they need to thrive as a site, and then also, being able to be in the workforce. A big thing is most people are not talking to, the tech companies that are really coming out here and saying, hey, there's a problem, and really getting that feedback of who's pushing out this technology is, instrumental in people being a lot less frustrated at work.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Well, thank you for that. Sorry, Moni, I kind of didn't let you kind of have your entry. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, no, sorry that I came in late. The link wasn't working for me.
No worries, no worries. Well, yes, so we have, Elizabeth here today from Clinical Research Referral Club. We're really happy, SOS, and I know you are as well, Moni. We've, spoke to Elizabeth on the side before, and, we're really happy with all the things that CRRC is doing. So obviously, the minute that we had the opportunity to make sure that we had this collaboration, we,
Oh, and I
situated.
thought of something.
Yeah.
Have been making connections of people that can get studies.
Oh,
So that is always very important to sites. So
yes.
that's definitely something I will be sharing of saying, hey, these people are powerhouses in getting those studies. And no,
Perfect.
nothing
Yeah,
predatory.
that's actually one of the panels on the SOS is dedicated only for that, and I'm responsible for that panel. So maybe,
Make that connection.
yeah.
Yes, we can
Awesome.
definitely have a further conversation about that.
Great, great. Awesome. Well, that's great, Elizabeth. So, I guess some of the questions that I guess we can kind of touch on. So, one, will you, for those that, obviously don't know and that are listening, you won't have a booth. You will be on the floor, kind of like where you are right now, Scope, right? Working the floor, networking, correct?
Yes, I
All
will.
right.
I will do that, and I'm thinking about what my conversation starter there might be. But Scope has given me some great ideas of how to, integrate, and definitely want to focus on networking and, making sure that people are comfortable and getting the most out of actually going. It's really easy to find yourself in a corner. So I'm gonna be making sure that nobody's in the corner and they feel supported.
Perfect, perfect, awesome. Well, one of the other things I guess we could mention is what days will you be there in case somebody's actually wanting to network with you outside of the conference, in case you are actually there earlier or later.
So I will be there the entire time of the conference. I imagine probably flying in night before, but in terms of in general, I am supporting SOS from the start to the finish and the after party.
Awesome, awesome. And you will also be, part of one of our panels. So we're going to be announcing that with your photo and bio. So for those of you who are interested, just, stay tuned. You're going to start seeing a lot more movement happening on the page to kind of get you guys introduced into all of our speakers and panels. Um, but also, Elizabeth, is there a way that, if a site or a clinical research professional wants to reach out to you, is there a way for them to connect with you in advance so that they can kind of get that scheduled in?
I will say yes, there is. So obviously LinkedIn, I live on LinkedIn at this point. But also I am happy to set up something specifically for SOS conference goers so that they can have an opportunity to set up one-on-ones with me. So thank you for that idea of, I do need to make myself a bit more accessible in that way.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, again, one of the things we're trying to do at SOS is just, aside from bringing really great sponsors, we also want to bring in great collaborators that are doing really amazing things in the industry. And obviously, ECRC is one of them. And we know that a lot of these sites, especially because, our audience, as you had mentioned, there's a lot of the sites that can't necessarily afford bigger conferences, right? And so, those sites are more than ever needing as many resources as they can possibly get. And so, being able to connect with you and potentially, gain your help or your network would obviously be extremely, extremely helpful. Um, so Elizabeth is at Scope. No, she is not doing SOS there. I mean, she's there kind of doing her own thing at Scope with CRRC and networking, but she will be coming to SOS. But you did mention, Elizabeth, that you are practically, selling SOS while you're there. So we appreciate that very much.
Yes, there are lots of companies that I've come across that I believe would be very beneficial for site owners to know about. So part of me being here is, gathering as much information as I can so I can bring it back to the clinical research community because I realize how privileged I am to be here. And because, I believe in information being accessible because it takes all of us to make this work. I'm doing everything I can to make sure that, I'm bridging that gap between the people that need the information and the people that can afford to be where the information is.
Yeah, I know, 100%.
Elisa, I wanted to mention that at the SOS conference, we're going to have some lounge rooms, lounge areas that actually are being sponsored by IQVIA. And you will be able, or everybody will be able to schedule time to sit there and have those conversations like one-on-one. So even if you don't have a booth, then you will have the chance to, areas to sit and chat with people.
That's great. I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I know that I'm going to have a lot of people to chat with. I've seen, the attendees coming in, and I'm like, oh, I get to meet you in 3D. So I am super excited that you guys are even doing this, and I've just seen how much you've grown and the work that you've put in. So my thanks is thank you for doing this and bringing together clinical researchers in an accessible way because it sucks to want something and it be out of reach in that way.
Exactly. You couldn't have said it any better. That's definitely what we've been aiming for, and we also have some. I mean, we spoke about it on the side, but we have some really great surprises for people coming up, and to even make it that much more accessible. We're really doing everything we can to try to find what really works for people, especially right now in this current economy. Because even if sites have the money, we all have budgets, right? We all want to make sure we're putting the money where it needs to be. And sometimes, networking takes a back seat to budgeting. So, if we can do things that will really help make that doable, we'll definitely want to move forward from there. So, Elizabeth, is there anything you want to, I guess, say, because, as we mentioned, this is going to be very short, just giving you an opportunity to kind of come on here, give a little bit about CRRC, about yourself, and then, kind of give a call to action to reach out to you and, get something scheduled on the side. But is there anything else that you would like personally to mention about CRRC?
I'm gonna say the only thing I mentioned about CRC is join, like, tag, share. Yes. So
Including this video.
Yeah,
yes,
including this video.
with the we are stronger together. So the more that we support each other in the industry, among SOS, CRC, and everybody else, the more that we can see the change that we want to see in this industry. So if you're hearing me now and you're frustrated with how things are going, you know that you have to be active and you have to try things different. So it might be scary, but I can vouch for SOS. Yes, take a chance on them, and even more so, take a chance on CRC, because we are definitely organizations trying to help and are helping.
Yes, thank you so much.
Exactly.
Awesome.
You made me thought about the say that is don't do the same things and expect different results.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
You have to
That's
do
it's a form
completely
of
different
insanity,
things to
right?
get completely different results.
Yes, yes.
Try it all.
So we had real quick, we had some questions before we push off. So Joyiti, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, apologies. You mentioned the SOS conference can be virtual, partially virtual. People outside the country can attend and take away some updates. This is something that we were working towards trying to get a sponsor for. Again, we've also seen, again, on the economy side for vendors in general and for sponsors, there's also been, a little bit of a hit on their budgeting end as well. So unfortunately, at the moment, we're still out there kind of looking for somebody to oversee the virtual end of things. At the moment, no, but there are, again, some surprises that are going to be coming up soon, sorry, that will show a little bit more room for accessibility and things like that. So once that gets announced, obviously, we'll be posting it here, and I do feel like it kind of helps those that can only view things virtually. And then we have another one here.
Definitely, don't worry. I will be there and my camera will be out
Oh
so
my
that
God, well, there you go.
as much information back as I can.
Yeah, well, there you go. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Yes, we will also ourselves be recording. So this will be eventually dropped into snippets later. But as far as live, fortunately, no, that's not the case because that does take a lot of manpower and also tech power and financial power, right? So again, for SOS, we're trying to focus in on accessibility. We're already making things very affordable and also being able to redirect it solely to people, right, as far as the content and all of that. And so when that happens and you're really kind of shortening the budget, it's just kind of going into the basic attendees. So that's kind of where we're at the moment, but definitely stay tuned for some more information. But all right, you guys, again, thank you so much, Elizabeth. We appreciate it. For all of you SOSers that are going to be attending or that just tune in virtually every now and then, know that we do have a whole handful of guests that are coming on. One that are sponsors, so stay tuned for that, and also for our collaborators. All this month is going to be packed with all the different collaborators we have coming on. But just again for some input, on Thursday we're going to have Alicia Moore here with Clinical Science Research Solutions. She's going to be a collaborator, as well as Friday we have Real Time with I believe his name is Richard Garland at Greenland, and then we have Greenfield, sorry, and then we have Inato with Liz Betty on Monday. So a lot going
Yeah.
on. Please go to our SOS LinkedIn profile events folder, and there you will be able to see an RSVP for all of these events. And we just hope to see you there. Again, thank you, Elizabeth.
Oh, and
Ceremony.
I'm going to leave with a
Okay.
networking tip. If you're going to go to the other ones that you absolutely should, come with at least one question. As you saw, Jyoti's picture popped up because she asked the question. So if you're interested in standing out, it's important to attend and make yourself known. So if you don't have questions today,
That's
make sure you
great.
have questions at the other.
Yeah.
That's great. And Lisa, Joy T was, sorry if I might mispronounce too. She's asking for the topics that we're going to be discussing as the SOS conference. So all the agenda is already posted on our website. However, we're going to be, I mean, whether you are a professional working with a company, with one of the stakeholders in the industry, or at the site level, or a site owner, um, it's gonna be amazing because we're gonna be one of the days is going to be dedicated to business development, but remember that your own career is also your business, so that's is going to help. And then in addition to that, we're going to have many other topics that are very amazing for any professional in the industry. So check out our agenda. is there, and also our the majority of the speakers are already listed. So check it out.
For sure. And if you guys are interested, if you cannot, for whatever reason, attend SOS, but you are interested in other events we're having outside of the conference, again, we'll be providing more information on that later. When those happen, if you would like very much to be notified about those, please reach out to us either through the LinkedIn SOS LinkedIn profile direct messages and say, hey, this is my email. Please let me know when the next events are coming up. These events, certain smaller events, will be free. And so, again, just if you are interested in those events, please let us know. And then the minute that we have more information to give out, you'll be part of the first list to hear about it. But all right, thank you so much, Elizabeth. We want to keep you any longer. Please, enjoy Scope, network as much as you possibly can to help grow your organization. We look forward to nothing but good things to CRRC, and yeah, can't wait to collaborate. And then again, see you next month. It's literally right around the corner. So it's going to be nice to see you in person.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure. And, I'm going to keep saying come and SOS. So, no, I got you guys.
Thanks, Elizabeth. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great one. Bye.